project we're going to do today is a Supersprint exhaust installation on a Cooper Works Cooper S. We're going to do a complete exhaust system. It already has the Cooper Works exhaust on it, but we'll see what the difference is and we'll show you how to install it, and we'll have sound clips to go along with it. Here we are underneath this Cooper S, and it's a pretty straightforward exhaust system. It runs right down the center of the vehicle, out the back. It has a single muffler in the rear. It has a resonator up front. What's interesting about the system is the center pipe goes into a Y connector, and then the muffler is 2 in and 2 out. I don't like that design. On the Supersprint, we've got a better design where we're going in with 2, and there's a larger Y section inside the muffler that splits out into 2. It gives you a little bit more of a free flow Y characteristic right out the back of the vehicle. The can is also a crimped rolled edge design, which if there's ever any leaks, when these edges are not welded and it's just rolled over like a coffee can, they will leak at some point. The nice thing is the exhaust is all stainless steel. Another thing that you might be aware is the factory tubing started off with 55 millimeter outside diameter, and in some cases it's actually crushed down to 52 millimeter diameter tubing. The Supersprint exhaust system is 60 millimeters from front to back. As we move forward, you'll notice the resonator has the same design as the rear muffler. It's crimped edges, folded over. Then we come forward, and the thinnest part that I found, the most crushed component, is right under the subframe here, where it actually goes down to about 52 millimeters. So when one piece of a pipe gets crushed down to 52, it's essentially no more free flowing than 52 millimeters from front to rear. Mini Coopers opted to use an accordion thermocoupler here, which later on I'll show you what a thermocoupler versus a ball socket design of a flex coupler should look like. And then they've got a typical V-shaped V-band that holds the two units together and then goes up to the up pipe. Okay, to install a new exhaust system, we got to first remove the old one. We've got 2 hangers at the rear that we're going to pull off. We have a cross brace in the middle. Just in front of the resonator we have 2 more hangers, and then we got a V-band at the very front. These will come off with screwdrivers. Looks like we've got about a 10 millimeter bolt. There'll be 4 of them that hold the plate on, actually 6. And then at the rear we can either take the brackets off the body, or we can just slip the hangers off the hanger points. We've already removed the V-band at the front. Now we're going to remove these 2 hangers on each side. That can be done by prying gently against the sway bar with a large screwdriver or a pry bar. You'll do the same on the other side. And then we'll go to the back of the car and do 2 back there. Here we have the 2 exhaust systems side by side on the ground, so we can do a little bit of comparisons. The factory exhaust is right here on the right side of the vehicle. We've got the Supersprint exhaust system on the left side of the vehicle. A couple of differences that they have is the factory uses an accordion style coupler, flex coupler, that's designed to allow the engine to move independent of the exhaust. Supersprint uses a ball socket design, which is far superior. It gives you a lot more movement. Obviously when these bolts are tight, it's more resistance, And if a seal goes bad, the only thing you have to replace is the seal that fits right inside of this ball socket right here. When this unit goes bad, it breaks and you get an exhaust leak. Both systems are designed to use the factory V-band, and there's a factory seal that you can reuse if it's not damaged, or you can purchase a new one. Supersprint uses a steel band or a steel V-joint that's welded to a pipe. It appears that the factory uses just a pipe that's molded on a molding machine to turn the pipe into a V-band coupler. As we move down the pipe, you can see that the tubing's much larger on the Supersprint. It's 60 millimeters versus 55. And this is the area right here where there's some serious crush in the pipe. It goes down to almost 52 millimeters right here. Uses the same factory hangers, same quality hangers. Both units are stainless steel. Now here's the difference we've got in resonators. We've got Supersprint uses a shorter resonator, gives you a little bit more sound, and you'll notice all the joints are welded, where the factory uses a crimped rolled edge design. The crimped rolled edge design is a lot easier to assemble. It's basically done on a crimping machine. You will get some leakage. This material gets heated and it gets bent pretty severely, and it'll typically get some cracks around the edges over a period of time. What Supersprint offers is, for a little bit more sound, you can eliminate the resonator and purchase just a connecting pipe. All components slip into each other, and you receive built-in clamps. So they just slip over each other, you tighten the bolts, and it's a snug fit. You can see the factory unit uses a resonator that's about twice the size of the Supersprint. So let's go to the back of the car and compare some more items. Looking at the back of the system, you've got two mufflers. They look very similar in design. The Supersprint uses a 60 millimeter tube. The factory uses the 55. Now if you're only going to replace the rear muffler for a little bit more sound, what you're going to want to do is use the adapter that's supplied by Supersprint to reduce the 60 millimeter tube down to the 55. That's included with the kit. If you go with a complete catback system, you'll be replacing all of these components going from the downpipe from the turbocharger to the rear muffler. Then you'll select the optional straight through pipe or the resonator, depending on how much sound you want to have. If you want a little bit less sound, you go with the resonator. If you want more sound, you'll go with the connecting pipe. Looking at the rear muffler design, the factory rear muffler design has a single pipe going into a short Y pipe. That short Y pipe enters two single pipes inside the rear muffler. Supersprint system has a single pipe going into the rear muffler, and it has a Y section built into the muffler that is a longer Y section for smoother flow transitions. Both systems have polished stainless steel chrome-plated tips. The Supersprint system has two individual tips that exit the back of the vehicle in the same position as the factory units. Then we've got the factory hangers, same identical design, good quality design, strong hangers, and you use the factory hanger units.